Hello? Is anyone here?
Strange of Duprey to leave the door unlocked. Maybe it means he'll be returning soon.
Maybe, but that just leaves us time to snoop around.
You really have to wonder about someone who chooses to surround themselves with dead things.
Yeah, plants would be so much better.
One of the guns is missing. Jean must be out using it currently.
And he leaves the door unlocked?
Satchels, boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting.
Let's see if Jean has anything interesting in here.
Not very much, except a letter.
Hey, dear Jean, thank you so much for your help. To think that Mother would try and have me withdrawn from my studies is just unbelievable. Don't worry, I won't tell her you made the university change their minds. One attempt to ruin a life is quite enough, Juliet. Ah, hello. Yo, okay.
Who the hell are you? What are you doing in my cabin?
Jean Duprey, I presume?
Yes, that's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the attempted murder of your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Forgive my rudeness, but you startled me.
Perfectly understandable, Mr. Duprey.
This is a man whose bark is most definitely worse than his bite.
I didn't have time to inspect the whole cabin, but I think we got the most interesting part in here. Empty bottles.
Seems Mr. Duprey is a Bollingworth man. Maybe he's not so bad after all.
Maybe. I guess you already like him, Bill.
I had a nasty run-in with an alligator when I was a child. One less in the world doesn't really bother me, to be honest. An absolute bore.
Wow. Good one.
Are these even native to New Britannia?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, where do you find a puma in the swamp area?
Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures.
I don't know, he just wants to feel manly from all the bitch slapping he's been getting from Madame Duprey.
Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures. Not a very dignified end for our friend Mr. Bear. Not a very...
Can we talk, Mr. Duprey?
I suppose so. Yes.
Yes.
What can you tell me about Madame Duprey?
Oh, my dear wife. The past few days have been just awful for all of us.
Yes, I can imagine. How long have you been married?
For 7 wonderful years. Laura and I are just as much in love now as we were on the day we married.
Lord, does he actually expect anyone to believe that nonsense?
You'll pardon me for being so frank, Mr. Duprey, but why are you out hunting and not at your wife's side?
Excuse me? Who are you to lecture me on my marriage?
A fellow married man, that's who. Your wife has just suffered a very traumatic ordeal. Shouldn't you be at home caring for her?
But with all the confusion at the house, with the police investigating and her being attended to by her doctor, I just needed to get away for a bit. Surely you can understand, Mr. Fordham.
There's something off about this guy, Miles. He's definitely hiding something. And for once, I don't think it's from his wife.
Interesting. Or should I say, intéressant.
Do you know anything about the circumstances surrounding Madame Duprey's death?
Horrible. Simply horrible.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Martin might have attempted to kill her?
Mr. Martin? You mean the boys they arrested? Andrew said it's because Martin and his mother are witches who prey on the well-to-do. You only need to take one look at him to see his trouble. It's a shame they put him away so quickly. I'd have liked to teach him a lesson or two, believe you me.
Yeah, right. A lesson on how to cower in the corner, most likely.
Yeah. Tell me about yourself, Jean, and how happy you are.
I suppose it goes without saying that you enjoy hunting, Mr. Duprey?
Yes, I do. I consider myself something of an outdoorsman, you see. It's nice to be able to go out and get some fresh air after being sat at the bank all day.
What about your home life?
Truth be told, I'm not at home as often as I'd like to be. I've been trying to make more time, but something usually comes up. Business is business, after all.
Yeah, but what business are we talking about here exactly?
What can you tell me about your stepchildren?
Andrew and Juliet? I see a bright future ahead for both of them.
What's your relationship with them like?
It's fine. Why do you ask?
I got the distinct impression from both of them that they hardly ever see you.
Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We don't spend much time together. But they're both so busy with school, I don't want to get in their way. Not to mention my job keeps me away from home for considerable periods of time.
Excuses, excuses. I get the feeling Mr. Duprey avoids his family on purpose. But why?
Well, it's quite clear. Madame Duprey beats him as well.
Do you fear your wife, Mr. Duprey?
Do I... what?
The question's quite simple. Are you afraid of Madame Duprey?
Why in the ether would you think that?
I found this bloody whip.
I'd be afraid of someone who kept a bloody whip in my bedroom. Care to explain that?
I...
Come on.
You don't know her like I do. No one does. Well, no one aside from the servants, I suppose. She's cruel, Mr. Fordham. Crueler than anyone or anything I've ever seen.
Here comes the truth.
Tell me more about Madame Duprey's cruelty.
She treats the servants like animals, Mr. Fordham. She would say the most vile, awful things to them. Things I would expect to hear on the Gascon docks, not from the lips of a grande dame. And the beatings. Oh, God. The screams I would hear from somewhere in the house. I never dared find out where.
Nobody else ever heard the screaming?
No. She was cunning. She would do it when no one else was around. Once she knew I had heard, she threatened me. Told me she would...
Yes?
She threatened to expose my secret, Mr. Fordham.
And what secret is that?
Our marriage is one of convenience. It's all for show. Laura has herself a well-to-do husband, and I am a normal man in the eyes of society.
I see. I suppose that would explain a few things.
Well, now, how was that not obvious to you? The soporific is really having a bad effect on you.
Don't worry, Mr. Duprey. Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham.
Tell me what you know about Guy Dumas and Celine.
Celine had an accident.
What kind of accident?
Laura thought Celine had been stealing her silverware. She got a bit carried away with a beating and...
Duprey killed Celine?
Yes, she did. In order to keep it quiet, she had Celine placed in our family tomb.
I see. What about Guy?
I don't know. I never saw him again after that.
Well, this case has certainly taken a turn for the sinister.
So Madame killed a servant. Well, the police will want to know about that.
Do you know anything about Madame Duprey trying to get Juliet taken out of her classes at the university?
Ah, yes. Laura didn't approve of her daughter's desire to further her education. So, she sent a letter to the university requesting Juliet's withdrawal. I didn't approve of her trying to meddle in Juliet's affairs. If she wants to study, she should be free to do so. I wrote them a letter myself, without Laura's knowledge, telling them to disregard the previous request for withdrawal.
That's very good of you.
Yes, well, I dislike seeing people being told what they can and can't do by others.
Yet, he seems perfectly willing to employ servants at his home. Well, I suppose we're all hypocrites in one way or another.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
Mr. Fordham. Well, you've been a great help, and Jean, you live a constrained life, my friend. I am sorry for you.
Hello again, Miss Montgomery.
Hello, Mr. Fordham.
Did your mother try to get you withdrawn from the university?
As a matter of fact, she did. Just another one of the many ways she tried interfering with my life.
What happened, exactly?
Mother wrote the university requesting that I be withdrawn. I found out about it when the enrollment office contacted me. I couldn't believe it at first. I thought it was some sort of mistake, but then they showed me the letter.
I take it you were upset.
More than upset, Mr. Fordham. I was furious. I was trying to make a real life for myself. One that wasn't about dresses or debutante balls or fending off suitors. I'd been given the chance to make something of myself, and Mother was ready to bring it all crashing down, just because she didn't agree with it.
But in the end, you're still here.
Yes, Jean stepped in and fixed everything. He didn't have to do it, but it was very good of him. I'm afraid that was the beginning of the end of my relationship with Mother. We never really managed to fix things after that.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
So that was the main rift between you two?
Fordham, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you are! Madame Duprey has been interfering with Juliet's studies and disapproved of her relationship with Martin, hence their falling out. Plus, the information in Juliet's notes about ethericity, putting animals into a death-like trance, seems awfully suspicious. It's enough to establish both means and motive. That's plenty to consider her a suspect.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't exactly consider her capable of wanting to dispose of her mother. I mean, she didn't like her after what she did, but I don't think she'd go as far as, trying to almost kill her and then have her buried alive. I don't know about this. Hates her mother for disapproving of her relationship and trying to have her removed from university. Researching ethericity and its ability to make living creatures appear dead.
She's busy. That's not to bother her until...
Alright. I wouldn't like to accuse Juliet. I hope she's not guilty. Well, it seems the police officer is still knocked out cold. You have a good hook, Miles. I hope you didn't kill him. So where is Celine buried?
Dale Chesterton, 1795 to 1843. A good man. Rest in peace. Douglas Chesterton, 1791 to 1840. Good riddance.
This must be what was going to be Madame Duprey's final rest.
I don't see anything inside.
What? Were you...
No, but... Celine, 1823 to 1844. Taken too soon. Rest ye with the angels.
Wait a minute. This is Celine, the maid.
Oh boy.
Somehow a piece of paper got wedged into the side of the vault.
Take it. Use tweezers.
Carefully now.
Oh, I have to do it. Very careful so it doesn't tear.
Got it! Nice work, Fordham.
God
Gotta see
damn
what
it,
this
Bill.
is.
You made me jump.
Interesting.
Leaving notes for the dead. How very touching. Wonder if anyone has left me one at my grave.
Quiet, Bill. I need to think.
It's obviously from Guy.
We know this note is likely from Guy. Now we just need to figure out where to find him.
Is there anything on the other side of that piece of paper?
Bill, you're a genius.
I wouldn't give me all the credit just yet.
Let's see. A receipt for an extended stay at the Stun Arms. Does that sound familiar at all?
Vaguely. But I can't recall anything off the top of my head.
Looks like we'll have to do a bit more searching.
Well, it seems the Guy is our guy. He definitely has enough motive to want to kill Madame Duprey. And maybe he was borrowing some books from Juliet to figure out this ethericity thing to make her seem dead. And that's how he wanted to get rid of Madame Duprey. To avenge Celine.
I found this note from Guy at your mother's family tomb.
At the tomb? Why would he leave a note there?
It's for Celine. She's been interred there.
She's dead? Oh God, that's terrible. What happened to her? And why would she be in our family tomb?
Well...
That isn't for me to say. You'll have to ask your stepfather. In any case, this note was written on a hotel receipt. I'm trying to find where it came from, but the name is only partially legible.
I can't say it rings any bells. I'm sorry, Mr. Fordham.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Well, Good luck finding out from your stepfather that your mother beat someone to death. Now, who might know about this hotel location?
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
Oh, we can wrap up the case, but we're gonna accuse the wrong person. So we're not gonna wrap it up yet.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
I found this note in the Chesterton tomb. I think it was left by the person who attacked Madame Duprey.
Nice work. Sounds like you're about ready to wrap things up.
I will be as soon as I find him. Take a look at the other side of it.
Part of a receipt for a hotel?
Yes, but the name is only partially visible at the bottom.
Stun Arms. The only hotel that comes to mind is the Boston Arms in Chumley.
There we go.
Of course! I knew the name sounded familiar. There's stories I could tell you about that place. Not right now, of course.
You're helpful as always, Upton. Thank you.
Good luck, Fordham. I hope you find your suspect.
Oh, I will.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
So now we have to go to Chumley and find our main suspect. Can I talk to any other people before I do that? Because it's most likely going to be Guy.
Stick around. I may have more questions.
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
Ah, I thought I could tell her at least what happened to Celine, put her mind at ease, but she doesn't need to know. Yet.
Who is it?
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. It's extremely important I speak with you, Mr. Dumas.
Private investigator. What do you want?
Just to talk. May I come in?
Yes, I suppose so.
I found your note in St. Denis Cemetery. Care to explain what it means?
How did you...
I'm a private investigator, Mr. Dumas. That's what I do. Now we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. It's up to you.
I left that note for Celine. I didn't think anyone would ever find it.
So it was you who attacked Madame Duprey.
Yes, it was me. I confess.
I can't remember the last time a suspect actually confessed. If only they were all like this.
But please, Mr. Fordham, you have to understand. The woman is evil. If only you knew what she did. Please, don't arrest me, Mr. Fordham. You have to know the truth about Madame Duprey.
Relax, Mr. Dumas. I'm not going to arrest you just yet. I'm perfectly willing to hear your side of the story. Now let's take this nice and slow. What can you tell me about Madame Duprey?
She seemed like a nice woman at first, but after working for her, I came to know how awful she truly was. When no one was around, she would beat me and some of the other servants for fun, say the most cruel things, call us horrible names.
Why didn't you just leave?
She threatened us, told us she would make it impossible for us to get work anywhere else. It's already difficult enough getting a job that doesn't force you to operate those awful machines. To be blacklisted by Madame Duprey would have been the final nail in the coffin.
How did you come to be employed by Madame Duprey?
I used to work in an iron factory in Chumley, but a few years ago, they brought in some steam machines to help production. One of the machines had a problem, and my friend Connor and I were assigned to fix it. We had no idea what we were doing, but we wanted to keep our jobs. I don't know what happened, but the next thing I knew, Connor was dead, and I was badly hurt. I swore never to go near one of those machines again. After I got better, I spent a few months looking for work, but it was impossible to find any jobs that didn't involve steam tech. Then I found out about Madame Duprey. Working at her home seemed like an improvement. I had a decent bed to sleep in, the work was not difficult, and I even made friends with her daughter. But Madame Duprey soon showed her true nature.
That's terrible, man.
Tell me about Celine.
Oh, my dear Celine. She was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. We were going to get married, you know. Then that devil killed her. She beat her to death in front of me. I was powerless to do anything. Please, Mr. Fordham. I don't want to remember. Let us speak of something else.
Oh, you should have mashed her face in. You should have saved Celine somehow, man. I mean, Madame Duprey seems like an old lady. You could have taken her on.
Do you know Albert Martin?
No. Who is that?
He's Juliet's lover, falsely accused of the crime you committed.
I had no idea.
Are you going to let an innocent man die because of what you did?
No. No, of course not. I suppose things got out of hand. It was not my intention for someone else to take the blame for my actions.
So why did you attack Madame Duprey in the way you did?
I knew that if I went to her home and killed her, I would be caught and thrown in jail. I needed to find a way to do it quietly and not make anyone suspicious. Also, I wanted her to suffer for what she did to my Celine. I had read about toxic plants in Juliet's schoolbooks, and I knew a bit about them from working as a gardener. So I decided to poison Duprey and make her appear dead so she could be buried alive and suffer the same way she made us when she would lock us away in her secret room.
Secret room, eh? God, that's terrible. Unfortunately, you didn't plan that she would have a very long funeral service, so she woke up.
Did you say secret room?
Yes, Mr. Fordham. It was no bigger than a coffin. She would place us inside if she was especially mad at us, with no food or water, sometimes for days at a time. We couldn't scream because she would stuff our mouths. She would also plug our ears and cover our faces.
How often did she put you in there?
Only a few times, but that was more than enough. I'd rather not think about it.
So you have no idea where it is?
None. I only remember Madame Duprey would say the same thing any time she was about to put someone in there. A perfect servant must behave. I've told you everything, Mr. Fordham. Are you still going to arrest me?
I haven't quite decided yet, Mr. Dumas. If I can find this secret room, it would be enough to charge Madame Duprey with a crime. However, if you haven't been telling me the truth...
I have been, Mr. Fordham. I swear it. I'll even make you a deal. If you promise me you'll try to find the secret room, I won't leave this hotel.
All right, Dumas. It's a deal.
Well, at least now we can go straight to Upton and have him taken in. Unless you really do believe him about the secret room.
I do believe him. Because Madame Duprey is crazy.
That's all for right now, but I'll be back.
Yes, Mr. Fordham. I'll be here.
A perfect servant must behave. There must be some sort of harpsichord code in there.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's crooked paintings.
Yeah, same. This is painful to watch.
A wash basin? When did this place get so fancy?
I know. Chumley's really stepping up with its hotel game.
It appears someone is due for 7 years of bad luck. Seems to be what passes for a dresser around here. Either that or Dumas is secretly a pirate.
Oh, that would be cool. Let's go find that secret room. I mean, he is guilty. He did attack Mrs. Duprey, but Duprey did kill someone and tried to get away with it. What did you do, Madame Duprey? I wonder if Amelie knows anything about that secret room.
Stick around. I may have more questions.
Don't worry.
I'm thinking there may be a door here, somewhere. Juliet isn't a suspect anymore. He admitted to the crime. So what would be the secret passcode? A perfect servant must always behave. Well, I can't really spell out that sentence with these keys. There must be something else.
As amusing as it is to chat with this oddball,
Oh, here we go. The bird is gonna talk.
A perfect servant must behave.
And now you'll taste an early grave. Me sofa, Ray. In the middle, see?
What? In the middle C. Middle C.
A perfect servant must behave.
And now you'll taste an early grave. Me sofa, Ray. In the middle, see?
Me sofa Ray? So long, Birdie.
So long, Birdie.
Something with the middle C. Me, Sofa, Ray? Oh, wow. Me, Sol, Ray. So what? Me, Sofa, Ray. So that would be in the middle C. So me. What was me? It was E. So that's me, Sol, Ray, in the middle C. Well, that didn't work. I'm just gonna have to tweak this a bit. Me, Sofa, Ray. Okay, let's try it again. Sol, Fa, Ray. Got it.
That seems to have done something.
Oh yeah. There it was. Oh shit, there's someone in there.
Dear God!
This does not look good. He's dead. You should inform Dr. Fellows about this right away.
It seems Guy was telling the truth after all.
Yes, it would probably be a good idea to let him know of this development.
Guy?
Yes?
I found the secret room you told me about.
You see? I wasn't lying.
No, you certainly weren't. There was someone inside. A man.
No. Who?
I'm not sure, but I can only assume it was one of Madame Duprey's servants.
Was he alright?
I'm afraid not. He was dead. Dr. Fellows confirmed it was due to asphyxiation.
Madame Duprey must have put him in there before I drugged her. And then, with everything that's happened, she didn't let him out in time. Oh my God. It's my fault he's dead. If only I'd known.
The circumstances are quite unfortunate, Mr. Dumas. However, this has shed a new light on Madame Duprey and her cruel practices. I can't say for certain that you were justified in your actions, but I am a bit reluctant to say you were completely at fault. But the bottom fact is that Mr. Martin has been falsely accused of this crime. If I were to let you go, he would be punished in your place. Unless...
Yes?
I'm going to need you to write me a letter, Mr. Dumas.
Of course, Mr. Fordham. Anything to take care of this mess.
Good. Hopefully now this whole grim affair can be brought to an end. That's all for right now, but I'll be back.
Yes, Mr. Fordham. I'll be here.
What did we request him to write? Guy's confession. Of sound mind and body, hereby confess to the attempted murder of Madame Laura Duprey. But he's gonna go to prison or hang. That sucks.
He looks upset. Best not bother. She's busy.
She's busy. Best not to tell her about all the people that were killed in her house. So not much else left to do than give Guy's confession. You know, I wonder if that room must have had a smell of dead person in there.
We haven't got anything...
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I think I'm ready to wrap this case up.
Okay, who's your prime suspect?
Guy Dumas, but I don't want to condemn him.
It was Guy Dumas, a former servant at Duprey Manor. He used toxic plants to drug Madame Duprey so she appeared dead, which he learned about from her daughter's schoolbooks.
What was his motive?
That's the thing. I've learned that Madame Duprey is extremely cruel to her servants. She regularly beats them, and even has a secret room no bigger than a coffin where she places them as punishment. I discovered this secret room. I found a dead servant inside. He had died from asphyxiation.
My God.
A few months ago, Madame Duprey beat Guy's lover Celine to death. He wanted revenge, and intended to make Madame Duprey suffer the trauma of being interred alive.
I see.
Constance, I don't think Dumas should be arrested for his crime. He doesn't deserve it. Madame Duprey, however...
Yes, I see what you're saying, and I agree, but what about Mr. Martin?
I got a signed confession from Mr. Dumas. You can see the handwriting matches this note I found in the cemetery. That should be enough to release Mr. Martin, as well as giving Guy a head start in his escape from the city.
It's going to be tricky getting the department to look into this, but with the proof you've gathered, it should work. Excellent investigating, Fordham. I knew you still had it in you. And of course I'll dip into the department's Good Samaritan fund to get you proper compensation for your work. For now, go home to your wife. I'm sure I'll have something else for you to look into fairly soon.
Good evening. I'm looking for Madame Laura Duprey.
This is Madame Duprey. I am her personal physician, Dr. Fellows. May we help you, officer?
I'm afraid I must place Madame Duprey under arrest.
What? On what charge?
Several, actually. Manslaughter, domestic violence, murder in the second degree. Shall I go on, or can we continue this at the police station?
You won't have to worry about Madame Duprey anymore. She'll be in jail for a very long time. And Mr. Martin has been released with a full pardon as well.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. I appreciate your help and your trust.
Think nothing of it, but you'll need to leave town as soon as you can. Have you made plans?
I was thinking of heading south. New Britannia is too cold and dark. I want to find someplace more like my home.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Dumas. Addie, I'm home. Addie?
She must still be out at her hairdressing appointment. I'm glad we're alone because I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yes, Bill, I know. I told you I'm doing my best to try and find the flower shop burglar.
No, for once this isn't about him. This is about you.
Okay. What about me?
You want to talk about me? What about me?
You can play dumb and deflect all you like with everyone else around you, but it won't work with me. I know exactly what you're thinking, and you know exactly what I'm going to say.
You want to talk about how we did on this case?
Yes, that's exactly right. Have you already forgotten the old days, Miles? Before I died, we were solving cases like nobody's business. You were one of the best detectives on the force. But ever since you started taking that soporific, your mind hasn't been as sharp as before. If you're serious about taking on more complex cases, you need to listen to Adelaide and stop taking it. It's already had a negative effect on your performance.
What are you talking about? We were able to discover the truth about Madame Duprey.
Yes, but if you were working at your full abilities, you'd have come to that conclusion much sooner.
So what, was I slow?
If I stop taking it, you won't let me sleep through the night. Nothing will change.
Well, things would change if you found you-know-who.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, well, I say a lot of things.
An understatement if ever there was one. Can't you just keep quiet without me having to take something?
Afraid not, old friend. That's just not who I am or how this works.
If you keep me up all night, I'll go crazy. Things have been hard enough as it is. And if, God forbid, Adelaide were ever to find out about...
Hello, Miles. Is there someone else here? I thought I heard you talking just now.
Fantastic. The jig is up. And here I thought we were doing so well, too.
I was just going over the case, thinking aloud.
No, I was just going over the case. Thinking aloud, you see.
Ah, of course.
How was your appointment?
Mrs. Lefebvre was her usual bossy and overly picky self, but she gave me a very generous tip.
That's good.
So I stopped by the shop on the way home and bought a new deck of cards.
Excellent. Shall we have a few rounds of écarté? I believe you demanded a rematch last time we played.
Yes, that would be nice.
Well, you certainly managed to dodge that bullet. I only wonder how much longer you'll manage before one finally hits you.
Someone's awfully bitter about being shot. Actually, wait, he wasn't shot. He fell. I didn't shoot him.
And it says here they still don't know what caused that explosion.
I guarantee you it was sabotage. Those Redites have been causing a lot of trouble lately.
Is that the group of anti-steam tech radicals?
The very same.
Why Redites, though?
They're named after some fellow named Jonathan Red, apparently the one who began the whole anti-steam movement. It's really a rather stupid name if you ask me, and uncreative to boot.
Well, what would you call them then?
The Boom Boom Boys. Oh no. The League for the Preservation of Blowing Things Up. The Anti-Steam Society. The Anti-Change Society, more like.
Something simple, like the Anti-Steam Society.
That almost makes him sound classy. Perhaps you'd best stick with the detecting, dearest. Your nomenclature needs a bit of work.
All right then.
Well, I think it's about time I get ready for bed.
All right, Miles, if you must.
No, don't take any more soporific. I won't let you.
Let her be for now. You've got your own things to take care of. Building those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one. Who could that be at this time of night?
Good question, but Adelaide can handle it for now. I need to take my medicine.
You certainly have your priorities in order. Go on then. Get that bottle of rat piss out of your nightstand and let's get this over with.
I don't want to. Don't take that rat piss. And Bill, can't you just, be quiet?
Addie can handle whoever's at the door. I need to take my medicine.
Aw, shit, it's gonna be the Easter Lily murderer, and he's gonna murder her.
Ugh, tastes like the devil's sweat.
You could just stop taking it, you know.
Yeah.
Bill, now is not the time to...
Miles, could you come back out here, please?
Be right there, dearest. Who was that at the door?
A late-night courier. You've got a message from Upton.
Fordham, this case makes the last one look simple. Meet me at Rouen ASAP. It's urgent.
It seems this case is rather urgent. She wants me to meet her as soon as possible.
But didn't you just take your soporific? Are you going to be all right to go?
It won't kick in for another hour or so. Should be plenty of time.
All right, I'm going to bed then. Good luck, dear.
Good night, Addie.
Why didn't you come with me, Addie? I might faint on the streets, apparently. It's a strong sleep aid.
There's no time to waste, Miles.
No time to waste, Miles. Just go and throw that shit up, man. You don't need the soporific.
Hello, Upton.
I'm glad you came, Fordham. Sorry for disturbing you this late.
What's so urgent that couldn't wait until morning?
I'm curious to know what's so important that it couldn't wait until morning.
An infant kidnapping in Lyon. The report came in tonight just before my shift ended. The family wants to keep the investigation very low-key. They're afraid if word gets out, they'll have all sorts of ne'er-do-wells making false ransom claims. That's why I suggested they let you investigate first. Head over to 45 Belcourt Street. That's the home of Malcolm and Miriam Harris, the parents of the kidnapped boy.
Harris as in Harris Construction Company.
Harris? As in Harris Construction Company?
The very same. Owned by Malcolm's father, no less. Now you see why they wanted to keep this out of the public eye.
Indeed. If they manage to get a new transatlantic airship off the ground, it'll be an aura mine. I can see why they'd make an easy target.
Oh shit! It's probably the Anti-Steam Society. I'll get the kid back before you can say hot toddy.
Okay, I'm on it. I'll try and find him as soon as I possibly can.
Right. Good luck on your investigation. Come see me again once you figured things out, or if you just need to talk. I'll be here all day tomorrow as well, so feel free to stop by.
What do you do exactly, Constance? You don't seem to have much to do. Since you're here all day tomorrow, you said? Alright. So I have an hour to solve this case, I guess. Otherwise, I will faint.